Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey.
And Becca, welcome back, guys. I feel like we have a lot to talk about today, so I don't even want to sit there and drag it out. So let's get into our...
Oh, well, first I wanted to welcome if you are new here. Thank
Right.
you so much for joining us. We hope you stay tuned. We have, unfortunately, a lot of sad stuff to cover, but we also want to bring joy and light when we get into our social corner. So definitely stay tuned for that. But as always, let's get into our weekly rundown.
What's happening?
So tell me, Rebecca, what's happening in your week?
You know, even though I went first last week, I'll go first this week because I just know you got what to say. Yeah. So obviously, I feel like today it was one of those, like, I don't know what it was, but like Shayla always says, like, you're always more tired when you're off from work than you are when you have work. I was like, nothing in me made me want to do anything. Like, literally, I went to the kitchen. I'm like, I need breakfast. I don't have anything in here that is just breakfast. I have to physically cook everything. I was making my eggs. I'm like, I'm not even tossing spinach in there. I usually like to toss some spinach, some tomatoes, something. Girl, it was just meat and eggs and a slice of toast. Like, I just had no energy for nothing. But it's okay. But let's get into our thoughts, right? So I realized, like, I don't know if I know I'm not the only person who's like this. Oh, okay, switch up.
We're trying something new. Let us know if you guys prefer us being like this and the other version. Let's test things out. Episode 36. Period. All right, keep going.
I don't know if it's just a me thing, and I don't like to like deal with like all the, like, you know, people be like, oh, it's because of my sign, but I feel like a lot of Geminis are like this. Like, I was like, I'm not an overthinker in terms of, like, I feel like when you overthink, you think about like that one thing, you think about all the different possibilities that happen with that. Me, oh, I could be like nothing. It does not matter what I'm doing. I'm thinking about 12, 27 different things all at once. Like, as I'm actively talking right now, I'm thinking about my Fashion Nova package, my Shein package, like everything, It's like my brain is always working and I'm sick and tired of it. And this is why when people are like, how do you fall asleep so fast? Because my brain is sick and tired of it too. Like, some days I would just love to just be cotton candy and sunshine and not think about nothing. I would love that, but it just doesn't happen. So let's talk about some things. I'm trying very hard to not be influenced. And if y'all know from past episodes, we talk about how, like, I get addicted to things very easily. I have been seeing this trend on TikTok of people bedazzling their cars. I'm trying very, very, very hard to not be that person.
Didn't you already have a bedazzled steering wheel?
It's not enough. Like, this girl, she's doing hers. Hers is red. Fire. This other girl did a pink one, and like, I've been following them along with their journey, how every day they are placing crystals on top of the car. I'm trying.
Whatever floats you. If that makes you happy, I feel like you got way too much money if you have money to spend on bedazzling your car. But if that makes you happy, then go right on ahead.
But the thing is, I feel like if I had 2 cars, then I would bedazzle one of the cars. But because I only got the singular right now, technically only one car, I'm like, yeah, Rebecca, you can't do that. Like, stay right where you're at. So I had to stop interacting with their videos because it was getting really hard for me to keep telling myself no.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're taking this route because
honestly. And so another thing I want to talk about. Now, we know everything that's happened in politics, this, that, and the third, you know, anything like that. Kamala is a way better woman than I ever could have been, because the way I would have got to that podium and been like, I told y'all so. She came, I'm not here to tell you I told you so. No, baby, I'm here to tell you I told you so. And even like Obama, he did his little thing talking about, oh, like, if I had did that, like, that's great, fine, and dandy. It just don't hit as well, because I really would have been like, you know what? I told y'all so. I told you so. Look what y'all got. Mic drop and walked off the stage. I would, yeah, no. Nope. Y'all played in my face. Anyway, next, thing I wanted to talk about. When I get rich, the first thing I am doing is hiring a driving service. I like the idea of driving. I like being the person who's in control of my speed. I don't like traffic. I don't like car issues. I don't like dealing with car issues on my own. So I'm going to hire a driving service the day I get rich. Like the first day I see that bank account hit 7 commas, baby, hey, how much is it for a yearly pass? Like, I'm telling y'all this right now. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Right. And I think that's the last thing I really wanted to talk about. To be honest, oh, last thing for sure. Actually, 2 things. Jury duty. Remember last week I was telling y'all they wanted me to have your girl on jury duty? Baby, they emailed me the day before and said, actually, you don't have to come no more. I said, look at God. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? And you know, it's crazy. I low-key wanted to do it because I've always wanted to be a part of a murder trial. But the way they were making it seem, it's looking like I was about to be a part of some like random civil case. And I didn't want to do that. I really don't care what happened to your money. For real, for real. Honestly. Last thing. Right. So we all try. I know majority of people don't know what I'm talking about, but some people, if you know what I'm talking about, you do. We try to forget certain things that we've seen in the past. And there's always that one person who's going to go out of their way to remind us of the thing that we're trying to forget. And what I'm talking about, it's called the strange things of the strange things about the Johnsons. If you remember what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. Every year someone goes on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, something to remind us of the travesty that we saw in that short film. I'm not even going to give any background details on it. If you know, you know. I need us to, from this day on, stop reminding us. Let us just let it vanish from our brains because I've never seen anything like it. I swear. Have you ever seen The
I
Strange?
don't know if I've seen that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay,
Don't
I
do it.
won't.
It was a very it's not even traumatizing in terms of like horror movie. It was just
Mhm.
ew. Like who, why would you create something like that? Like that's literally go ahead, Shayla. What's going on with you?
Um, so my week has been weeking, life has been lifing, but the first thing I want to say is the spring seems to not want to arrive. It's been raining and I feel like it's been colder than the actual winter ever since spring started, and I'm just like, what is happening? Every day since if you watched last week's episode, we did like all things we like about spring and dislike. I don't know if I triggered the rain even more. It's been raining every single day, cloudy. And even when the sun comes out, it's the fakest sun ever because the wind is crazy and it makes it cold. So I'm hoping that spring, well, I guess rain is a part of spring, but I'm just like, I just don't want it to be cold.
Personally, I'm not bothered. I
Well,
like this.
we know that. We know that you enjoyed the cold, but you had your time to shine. You had the whole winter, half of spring. Let us have the summer, please. Anyway, so that's that. In terms of weather, I have not been that hasn't been helping. And also, I've been very booked and busy being the manager of the household, the family. You know, if you are a part of an immigrant family, you understand the struggles. It's not really a struggle because it's like you know this. Like this is what you do. You show up for family, you do. But like when you're the main one that speaks English or you know the first generation college student, you're the one that has to, you know, take initiatives when anything in the family is happening. So I had to like
Mhm.
take on my life stuff on top of, you know, my family's things as well. And sometimes when like your family members individual lives all happen to coincide in the same week, it makes it like extremely stressful, but I'm happy.
Especially when you're the person who has to do the transportation.
Or
It's
transportation, documents, calls, appointments, like everything at once. But you know, I don't want it to come off as like complaining because, you know, I love to do it. But, you know, at the end of the day, I am a human and your
girl,
body talks.
don't nobody
I,
love to do it. We do it because it's
no, but
all responsibility.
I would anytime that I'm sick or I'm not feeling well, my family is always there for me. And I know how much that means to me and like how helpful it is. So I'm very big on reciprocating. You know what I mean? But of course, I am human and I get like overwhelmed. But thankfully, all those things have been, the week is almost gone and everyone was helped and we're all good and dandy. Other thing is, I've been seeing a lot of clips on social media from the show Love on the Spectrum. I guess it's a show on Netflix. And everyone is saying how, this show makes them like, believe that love is real. And also, like, I haven't watched the show personally, but people are saying that, like, this show reflects how you should never, like, deviate from your standards. Like they're saying like, oh, if my man doesn't like the fact that I like dogs, then you gotta go. Like apparently in this show, like Love on the Spectrum, the girls, the boys, they're very honest, honey, and they not sugarcoating. If I say I like cats and you say you like dogs, oh no, we actually can't date anymore. So I want to watch Love on the Spectrum because I feel
I
like I love that. Period. Stand on business. And also because I feel like they are, of course there's different levels of you what's it called?
autism.
Yes, there's different like spectrums of it, but like there's certain stuff like depending on what spectrum you're on. They're very honest and like they say how they feel. And I think a lot of times maybe we don't do that because we like are so worried about what the other people are going to think. But if you have this like personality type where you actually don't care and you said what you said, and I said you need to like dogs and you don't, I'm cutting you off because what do you mean you don't like dogs? Anyways, that's super random, but I got to get on that dating show. I got to watch it.
I just First off, yes, I wholeheartedly believe in reinforcing your boundaries and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Is definitely important, especially when you're thinking about looking for a long-term partner. There's just
Yeah.
certain things that you should not negotiate on. Like,
Mhm.
if you are a racist,
Well, that's like not even like, girl, that's so to the extreme that like we wouldn't even get to a date. You're like, let's start, let's keep it at
yeah,
dogs and let's eat pineapple on pizza, please, which I
that's
don't like.
atrocious. That's atrocious. But you remember how you say you've been seeing a lot of clips and stuff? So like I've been seeing a lot of clips of people doing Coachella. Like basically
Doing
showing their
Coachella?
like yeah, like building their tents, showing what their tents are gonna look like, setting it up and stuff like that. Like that has been down my timeline. I have so many questions. One,
People make their own tents? I thought like they're making tents at Coachella?
yeah, like you're gonna sleep in a tent. It's an outdoor music festival, technically. I mean, you could also rent houses nearby and go in that way, but some people are going to stay on the premises, like build a tent, sleep in a tent. They have like
That
outdoor
sounds
showers.
fun.
Thank you, Shayla. I thought it was just me. I was like, I don't think
Especially after you drop the bag on tickets. You got no.
yeah, I was like, I don't think that could ever be for me. Like, I was just like, how, why would I even want to do that? I see people with the outdoor showers, they're bringing their own gallons for the water. I'm like, what is going on here? And it honestly made me think, like, I realized, first off, how do y'all even know when Coachella is happening? Because I feel like I never know Coachella is happening until I see Coachella happening. If
Well,
that
I feel like it's we're all part of our social bubble. So like that's not our social bubble.
Yeah, because I was like, first of all, I didn't even know Coachella was happening. And right now they're in a heat wave, kind of, not even a heat wave, but it's like 92 degrees outside. People complain that it's hot. I'm like,
But
why
that's
would you?
always happens. I feel like especially like where they hold it or like where it's hosted, it's like a desert vibe. So like
Yeah.
that's always a thing.
Yeah, I
But
don't think outdoor music festivals would never be for me. I don't like to be inconvenienced, and like to think about sleeping at the same location as everything is just like it just seemed very inconvenient. I like my showers in an enclosed space.
well,
I don't
you can do that.
Who can do that?
You can go back home to your
Oh yeah, I
Airbnb,
definitely could.
shower, and then show up for your artist and then leave.
Right, I definitely could do that. I just have zero urge to do that.
Okay. Well, I would go to a music festival, but am I paying hundreds of dollars? No. But if it was like for a job or like sponsorship, whatever, I'm in there. But I
Mm-hmm.
just cannot get myself to spend so much. I mean, I already spend so much like just regular concerts, which is atrocious in itself. But anyways, the one thing I will say in festivals, you actually do get a bang for your buck in a sense, because you are able to see multiple artists. Um and unlike if you just buy a ticket to see one particular artist, if they choose to bring someone on, like they do that, but like it's not guaranteed that you're going to see multiple artists.
Exactly.
And two more things. Yesterday I saw Real Women Have Curves. It's like a musical on Broadway, and it was super super fun. If you haven't seen it, like Real Women Have Curves is like a big, it's like a huge movie. It's all about like the Latino community and this girl who gets into like Colombia, and she's having to like, she wants to break it to her parents like, hey, I got into Colombia. But again, if you're part of an immigrant family, you know, like I just started off saying in the show, it's like they live in California, so it's like, oh, my parents don't want me to go because they depend on me. And it was a whole storyline. If you are, you know, it's amazing to see Latino characters and Latino stories being told on the
But
stage of
like,
Broadway.
were they us authentic Latinos? Because remember when we went to go see that one movie that was like, I remember we went to the movie theaters and we saw that one movie. It's like it was off.
Yeah, no, this was like a lot of the actors and actresses that were tapped to do it, like they are all actually Latinos, so that was great. So if you are into like Broadway shows and musicals, I suggest you guys go watch it. I enjoyed it. It was cute. There was like a cute little love interest thing, which I like. It was super corny because it was like this geeky guy from Colombia that was trying to like, you know, flirt with the main character. It was cute. Real Women Have Curves musical. Go watch it. And the last thing I want to say is I've been dealing with like a lot of career situations, and I really have struggled with this, which is like, don't let other people's perceptions of you get in your head and dictate how you see yourself. I feel like you will always get a lot of no's. Always. People like, "Oh, you know, I don't think you have enough experience," or "I don't think this, I don't think that." I feel like it's super important to, at the end of the day, always look at yourself or reiterate to yourself that you are worthy. You do have the skills, you've put in the work, because after hearing a bajillion no's, it could be very easy for you to like, you know, kind of be like, well, I guess they are right. If 20 people denied this application or told me that I don't have enough experience, maybe I don't. But at the end of the day, you're only meeting these people for one interview, and you've been with yourself all your life. You've seen all the hard work you've put, you've seen like all the extra hours you've put in to gain this experience that they may claim you don't have. So if you are dealing with like career issues or just like finding yourself out, it's great to ask for opinions, but always like, don't let others' opinions of you get into your head. Like, no one knows you better than you, because it could be real easy to fall into that hole, honey, and be depressed and sad, honey.
Yeah.
But it's been a very long week, as you can tell. We've 20 minutes in just talking about the week. But now let's get into our topics. The first one is, oh, so devastating. If you guys know, if you're a reoccurring viewer, you know Rebecca and I are very proud about like our heritage, where we come from, our people, Caribbean, all the things. So this story that broke, you've probably seen it already, in Dominican Republic at the start of the week, was, there's no words to be able to explain the pain that not only the country, but like, I feel like if you have a heart, even if you're not from Dominican Republic, it hurts. So hundreds of people gathered at a nightclub in DR in Dominican Republic called Jetset, right? On Monday night for what was supposed to be a fun night, right? Renowned merengue singer Rubby Pérez was set to perform. And as Ruby was performing late at night, it was like a Monday into Tuesday. So as Rubby Pérez was performing, the roof of the nightclub collapsed. Okay. Hundreds of lives gone in an instant. More than 200 people have been confirmed dead and many others injured. Unfortunately, rescue efforts have ended. This happened, early Tuesday. Today is Friday. And officials are now just working on recovery. So many lives were impacted by the tragedy. Among those who passed away included two former Major League Baseball stars, an iconic singer, like I mentioned at the top. Rubby Pérez was performing as the roof collapsed. Unfortunately, he did not make it. He was 69, I believe, about to reach 70 if he wasn't already. So he didn't make it past. He didn't make it through this accident. A renowned fashion designer, a prominent banking family, a governor from one of the cities in Dominican Republic, young professionals. Just, the list goes on. So many prominent people were here, were attending this musical event at the nightclub, and also like just regular day everyday people. Like reports say that there were at least 9 US citizens that were also, there. They were probably like on vacation. Um and one of them actually, like one of the girls, I have a photo here, is actually from Jersey. Um Here's like I mentioned, Rubby Pérez is at the top left. He was like an iconic merengue singer, and the Octavio is the former MOB star. Tony is the former MOB star. And then at the bottom left, she was a governor from one of the cities in DR. Martin was the fashion designer, and Jennifer Contreras, she was actually a resident from here, Passaic, New Jersey. And it's just so sad. I want to also show a video of what it looked like after the roof collapsed at this iconic nightclub. So this is it here. If there's one thing that you should know about Dominican Republic, like the houses built over there are not as flimsy as the ones in America. Like they use like real brick. You know what I mean? So like it was I don't even have words to describe. So here's like you see people trying to see names of their loved ones. That's Rubby Perez right there performing in the middle, right before the roof collapsed. And it's you guys have to know, like when you think Rubby Perez is like what Whitney Houston meant for the music industry and for the genre that she sung, like he was, and probably still is because his music will live on forever, like an iconic figure in the Dominican Republic for merengue, the genre. And it's just all so sad. It doesn't matter where you are, how much money you have, nothing. You know what I mean? Like here are these people that gathered just at a club to see probably their favorite artist, and gone in an instant.
Yeah, like when I first saw that this was happening, my one coworker, shout out to you, Jenny. I asked her, I was like, "Did you know anybody who was there?" Like, because I think what's crazy about it, like Shayla mentioned before, she gave a wonderful explanation. She said it's like even if you aren't from that country, if you have a heart, you have understanding. I remember, like Shayla mentioned, she's Dominican, I'm Haitian. I remember when Haiti had their, like, it was the worst earthquake I think I've ever seen, right?
Mhm.
And I remember having family that was there and us trying to find out, like, are they okay? Is this okay? Like, and seeing how, even to this day, how that still, like, that trauma of being there during that earthquake impacts them today. It's like, it's heartbreaking to see because regardless of whether you knew these people or not, the fact is that the people who live in DR, this will forever impact them. Because now this is going to make you think when you go out, like, am I going to make it home? You know? And it's like we always talk about tragedies in terms of like mass shootings and stuff like that, and how like there are things that could have been preventable for that. And it's like for this, there I know there's some speculations about the location because apparently they had a
And the
fire.
structure of it.
Yeah,
Like,
they had.
no, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. There was, I just want to mention, like, according to, again, I haven't seen anything to confirm, but when things like this happen, everybody is just posting videos and saying what their truth is. So there had been reports of people that had gone to, again, this big club, iconic club, in prior days, and that they had brought up to their attention, like, something's falling from the roof, and all they did was like sweep it up, and the next day continues. So people are alleging that there were signs that the structure needed to be fixed. And
yeah, and apparently what else was like we're saying, these are things that
alleged.
need to be confirmed. So allegedly also they were saying that basically when there was a fire, like I believe years ago or last year or something like that, to the structure, and they were told by like fire officials, like, you guys need to get this place like together, like the structure is not sound. And of course, you know what you do, this is alleged, remember, that they did some cheap work just to fix it and do like some cosmetic work, but didn't do like a full restructuring for the establishment. So then you had things like this to happen. And like, this is all to say, I don't want to be long and drawn out with it. Like, my heart goes out to the people that are impacted, the people whose lives will forever be changed, all the lives that were lost. And if we are correct about these speculations that were made, I hope, one, whoever the owner of that establishment is, if this does come out to be true, I hope that you reap the everything that needs to come your way. Like, karma is terrible and karma will come your way, because if it was preventable, that is insane.
Yeah, like more than 200 people have been confirmed dead. Like, think about that. Again, like, we all have some sort of family members or close friends. We all, oh, I'm gonna see my favorite artist tomorrow. Like, we've seen this. We mentioned how like Becca was supposed to go see Rod Wave, or like I went to the Aventura concert by myself or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to be here, Rebecca. I sent her an image, and like, then she sees on social media that the structure of Prudential Center broke. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
it's so heartbreaking. Like, we say this all the time, like, live every day like it's your last. But when you've been seeing constantly, right? Because it feels like every day is something new. Yesterday, literally, yes, these people came from New York. I mean, they came from, I believe, Spain, or they came to New York on vacation. First of all, coming to New York or Jersey for vacation is not cheap. So these people probably were here so excited to come to New York. They were on a helicopter, as a lot of people do. It's a very main thing, the same way people go to see the Statue of Liberty.
People do
The
the
helicopter
rides.
Yes, to see like the skylines, all the beautiful things. And the helicopter fell and they died. 2 kids, 2 adults, a whole family gone. Do you imagine, like, they were probably like counting down the days, especially the kids? Oh, I can't wait to, go to New York and see all these
Come
things.
back to school and tell everybody, like, this is what I saw when I went to the city. And like,
It
life.
is so sad. And I also want to make, like, we talk about all of these like just material things, but none of that matters. None of it. None of it. Like, if you love someone, tell them you love them. Like, make time for the people that you care about. And that's something that I know I have to work on, right? Because I'm a homebody, but like, if you are here on this earth, take advantage of it. Like, make time for you. Work is not everything, although especially in America, they want to drill on us, work, 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 work. But look at this family. They've probably been saving for years to come on this vacation. They come on the vacation, gone.
And like, we're talking about like worst case scenarios, because both these incidents are both worst case scenarios where it's like the unexpected happened. But it's like, honestly, live life to the fullest, live life like it's your last. And I know that's very hard to do, especially because we're all just trying to make it. We're all just
Yeah.
trying to like achieve the goals that we set for ourselves, but sometimes we really do need to take a step back. And I won't lie to you, I'm one of those people. I don't take a step back. I just keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. But it's just like, when these type of things happen, like, we talk about them and then we always say, oh, life is so precious, and like, we understand that, but then we go back to doing what we do. So like, just try, and I know I'm gonna try as well, just to make it a second thought to yourself. Like, when you wake up in the morning, thank whoever you believe in. If you don't believe in anything, just thank the universe that you woke up this morning.
Mhm.
Just appreciate that every day you get to breathe is just
A
a
blessing.
blessing within itself, because there's some people who woke up and then lost their lives that same day. So like, just
Yeah.
thank whoever you want to thank the universe for anything that you are blessed with, everyone that you have in your life. And if you do have people in your life that you love, just make sure you tell them that.
Yeah. So again, our hearts go out. I know I've been thinking about it. I thankfully I didn't have anyone that's affected, but I feel like if there's one thing you know about me, I'm very empathetic. So I don't even need to have a connection. I feel for it because I can't even imagine. I'll never be able to understand that pain, but know that like I'm praying and I hope that they get the support that they need. Like all the families, again, not just like the big name people, also 200 people were affected. So I hope that the government is able to support these people and they are able to find some sort of peace. I know it's not going to be easy,
And
but
I just want to state really quickly, I know, like, why did you do this, Rebecca? But like, I saw some of the photos of the bodies. Like, there was these, like, it was like a mom and a daughter who were both there. Like, you saw photos of them before, taking photos, posting on social media and stuff. And then, like, you see the next photo of literally them being crushed by like all this different, like, concrete and stuff like that, in the blue dress, in the green dress. And I'm just like, just imagine. Like, I could not imagine. Like,
Mhm.
there's group chats that are happening, I believe, on Telegram and stuff like that, where people are sharing photos of like what the
Corp-
devastating, like, yeah, the corpse, like the people trying to literally claw out of like the rubble. Literally, like with a whole slab of concrete on their back, trying to crawl out. Like, that is insane. And
yeah.
like I said, I don't wish that on nobody. Even if you my worst enemy and I don't rock with you, I don't wish you that type of death.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. So the next story that we do want to talk about, this is gonna I just want to mention it because I feel like immigration is a very big topic, especially now under this administration. How people are like, immigrants are taking our jobs, immigrants are everything for at least for the current administration paints a picture that immigrants are just like a detriment. They don't do nothing. They are a danger. Like it's all bad, 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 bad. So I just want to make this statement or like this news that broke. So the IRS is now teaming up with the Department of Homeland Security, right? And if you're wondering like what does the IRS like what. So like I said, the Department of Homeland Security said in a court document, right, that the IRS has agreed to share certain certain tax information filed by undocumented taxpayers with immigration and customs enforcement. It's important to note here that undocumented people do in fact pay taxes and a lot of it, right? So I have this thing here from NBC News because there's this misconception that people have, come to their own conclusions that immigrants are just here, they pay no taxes, they're just blah blah blah. Well, that is actually not the truth. So, as it says here, it says many people without legal status pay billions in taxes filing under tax identification numbers. The Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy estimated that undocumented immigrants paid 96.7 billion in federal, state, and local taxes in 2022. So, for those of you wondering and are so pressed about how immigrants are all of these bad things that you have made up in your head, a lot of undocumented people still got to pay their taxes. They're not just here freeballing how people would like you to believe. And now the government or the IRS has agreed to release information that could most likely, or not most likely, but will probably lead to finding more people to deport. And I'm just like, again, creating problems where there is no problem. If someone is here to work, they're paying their taxes, they're not hurting anyone, they're actually doing the jobs that, again, I will say this a gajillion times again, that that not an American, that someone that went through their 4 or 5 years of college, whatever, would not want to do. What is the problem?
Right. Right. I just think it's like we say this in every episode, which is why, like, honestly, peace and love to the 92%. We've been minding our business. We've been doing what it do. There was a whole bunch of protests, mind you. I didn't even know what was happening. I had literally walked into work and they were like, "Oh, like there's this protest, that protest." I'm like, "What are y'all protesting? Like, what's happening?" They're like, "Rebecca, it's." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I went to ShopRite this morning." Like, honestly, and I know it's terrible to say, but honestly, y'all knew what was going to happen. Y'all already knew this. So it's like whenever I hear new news coming out about tariffs, when I hear new news coming out like how he feels about immigration, and everything y'all tell me, what was it? Project 42, Project 32,
25,
yeah,
Project 2025.
2025. It's like people been saying this. So
Yeah.
now that we're over here, I think we're currently in a recession. We're about to head towards a depression. It's like what about the whole administration that people have been saying are going to do this and that did y'all not understand? Because y'all didn't care. You didn't think that you would be impacted. You didn't think that you would be affected. So it's like, to be honest, I want to care. I do. Because I know it's people who did not vote for this who are going to be impacted, but the way I just cannot find an ounce to give a damn is actually
I just hope that, again, if you have this misconception of like people that immigrate here, don't think that they're leaving behind their families, their lives, all they know just for like the funsies, all because they want to take your job or they want to take your, like, I just, no, like, it's like, to me it's common sense. Of course there are exceptions, yes, I'm not going to deny that you may find someone that immigrated here and did commit a crime and did do something that I am not vouching for. But that's with every race, with all people. There are Americans here that do that all the time. I'm not saying it's good, but it's like you putting every immigrant in like this box. And especially like if you go see the official White House accounts and all the like the parody that they're making of, deporting people back, and just they're they're like dehumanizing humans. Like, these are people that have kids, that have family, and it's just like, especially if you yourself are a Latino or a minority and you think that you're safe, and you will never be white enough for these people. So it's like you might think that you're safe and that you're this, honey. If we go all the way back and we stand on that line, don't think that they're gonna excuse you because, oh, well, I voted for you. Well, they're gonna be like, well, no, you're not white. So it's like, if
and I also want to
stop that.
say it's like y'all pick and choose which immigrants that y'all like, right?
Right.
Because if it's Latinos, oh, automatic like big red X, right? But if you're an Italian, oh wait, I love me some pesto. I love me some tomato sauce. I love me that. No, baby, get back on that boat too. Y'all going back too. And my thing is, y'all love to pick and choose when things are a problem and when things aren't. Because isn't Trump's whole wife an immigrant? Or did we forget that?
Right. Or if it's like, well, if it's the immigrant that's cleaning my house or taking care of my kids, I
And
love
they
them.
need to stay. Oh my God, they're
But
being so beneficial.
but if you actually like go to college and you're seeking powerful leadership positions, then it's like now you feel like you're intimidated, like we're trying to take over.
Like,
It's like, anyways, it's disgusting. I hate it. And yeah, comment down below how you feel about any of these topics. But until then, we're gonna move on to our social corner. We need some lighter news, guys.
Yes. Welcome to the social corner. If you are new here, and even if you're reoccurring, let me give y'all a quick little breakdown. So, our social corner is basically everything that we've been seeing on social media, whether that be Instagram, TikTok, or wherever else, where we just want to talk about a few things instead of just talking about one topic for 15 minutes. We're going to break down a few topics for that duration of time. So, the first thing we're going to talk about, if you know in past episodes, I love this woman down. My girl Onijah Robinson, we talked about her last week. Y'all, every day something new comes out. She's been flaunting and popping out in New York. Apparently, she was just on, like, she just did like some type of thing with Netflix.
Yeah,
Shayla,
a
you
promo video.
you said that. You said that
I
she was.
did.
I'm gonna give you your flowers, sis. You
I'm
call
like, but I feel like if you a smart business, like, if she's what the moment is giving, she's what's causing the commotion. Come on over, girl. They got the money.
pull up.
Money talk.
Honestly. So the reason why we're going to talk about her today is because we've always talked about how the reason why she went viral is because she went to Pakistan because she had met this 19-year-old on social media or whatever. That's what was being reported, that she met this man on social media, and that apparently his family did not want him with her and forced him to reject her, and like she was there and refused to leave and everything like that. And then she ended up in Dubai, and then she's back in New York City. So let me give y'all a quick breakdown, because come to find out, we had a lot of things twisted, apparently. Okay. So Onijah Robinson, quick note, she is 32 years old, and she had went viral for, like I mentioned, for her controversial trip to Pakistan to marry a 19-year-old that she met online. And I'm gonna butcher your name, and I apologize. His name is Nidalahmed, I believe. If I
You
butchered
could
it,
hear from the source if you want. I got the video of him talking.
wait, let me give the description. So, like we mentioned, Onijah's back in New York, and Ahmed broke his silence, and Shayla's going to show you the video soon, about their relationship, saying that they are in love and denying the claims that he or his family abandoned her. He's saying that she got along with his family well, and she stayed in a hotel for months. He clarified that she was not detained during her mysterious disappearance, but was hospitalized, and he stayed in touch with her family. Despite Robinson calling him her husband, Ahmed said that they are not married. While unsure about their long-term future, he praised her confidence and hinted at joint projects. Let's play the video.
Yeah, thank you to the Shade Room in advance, honey. Y'all did
Yeah.
the Shade Room investigates. We putting in that work, and we appreciate you clearing the stage.
Robinson is back, and she glowed up on us.
I want 50 million from Trump. Stop playing with me, Trump, because I'm in New York now.
By now, you know the story. She went to Pakistan to meet a man. For the first time ever, people don't think you're real.
I saw those comments and people saying that that's the person in her imagination.
Her man, her 19-year-old online lover, is talking only to the Shade Room. So what is the real story?
It's not what you guys think it is.
Do you see yourself being with her for the rest of your life?
Well, I can't answer this.
We're getting down to it. Did he really abandon our girl when she got to Pakistan? His name, Nidalahmed. People don't think you're real.
I saw those comments and people saying that that's the person in her imagination.
Oh, but he is real and says that he and Onijah talk every day on the phone. They are in love. And how long were you guys dating online?
In like 2 years or 2.5 years.
2.5 years. And was it a thing where you guys both decided for Onijah to come visit you in Pakistan?
She decided by herself, but yeah, that's the question that she can answer you.
Onijah's journey in Pakistan, were you for her coming to visit you?
I mean, how can I stop her? That's her choice.
Were you happy?
Why won't I be happy?
After that long of a time, how was it seeing her face to face? You know, you guys live on opposite sides of the world.
It was all good. Everything was perfect. Nothing was like bad for me or kind of shocking or anything.
He says what we don't know is that his parents were ill and spent weeks in the hospital. He says his focus then shifted on caring for them and was not interested in doing TV interviews at the time. He never lost touch with Onijah, though. After 3 months, there's been reports that you just up and disappeared, you walked away, and Onijah was left hanging.
That is not true. Okay, so media is making up shit by himself, but if you can show me any one video in which Onijah is saying that I abandoned her or I left her and I dumped her or anything like that, I would agree. But media is showing that all the third parties. Did Onijah say anything like that? Did you ever see anything like that Onijah saying on TV?
As far as we know.
So clearly, based on these one-line answers, Onijah says you better find you a new man here.
I mean, I get what
you're saying. That's a pen pal. That's a texting person. Like, it's how he, girl, He do not seem interested. Oh, were you so excited? Well, I couldn't stop her. Well, what? That's not giving you were excited to see my girl. Listen, and don't be fooled, because now that she got that Netflix money, now that she got the big bag, he might try to be more more consistent and more, oh, I love you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna come to see you. Don't fall for it.
Yeah, listen, you know I love Onijah down. Anything, I'm like team Onijah. If she need a PR person, girl, holla at me. I got you. But
He not moving.
it's giving green card. It's giving you trying to like,
Yep. And my girl Onijah, no. Like
if that's your girl, what you mean Miss Onijah? Like
what?
Who that?
And also, like, just his answers was not giving, oh, well, you need to ask her. Oh, well, you this. Oh, first, but he is 19, so I'm not even like, let us be honest. You just said she 32. He 19. They talking about they've been dating for 2+ years. This is not a real relationship, and it's not going to go anywhere. And it's cute for funsies to text. Like, if you want to continue to text, that's cute. But long term, it's not going anywhere. And get you, if you want another Pakistani, that's not a word. If you want another man from Pakistan, find you one that can travel and is already here and it's older, maybe like 35.
Yeah. Girl, listen, Onijah, I support you in most things that you do, because I really believe that, like he said, like he even talking about her confidence and how like it, like a study or something needs to be done, because like she's so confident and he loves that. I admire your delusion. I admire that you think Trump gonna give you however much money you requested from him. But sis, the one thing we're gonna be real about is the fact that you can do better, because you can get better. You are Onijah Robinson, girl. You better go get you a man. You don't need that little boy, that little teenager. You better get a man with some umph to him. Come on, girl. It's okay. We when me and Onijah link up, because I'm telling you what's gonna happen. When me and Onijah link up, we're gonna do, I'm gonna put her on like Pop the Balloon. We're gonna get you a real
Girl, that's another topic. Stay tuned for that. So I just want to say, I also hope that Onijah has like the real support that she needs, because I'm just very concerned that like she really is dealing with some sort of like mental situation and she's not getting the support she needs. Like, aside from all the jokey jokes, I really do hope now that, you know, she even has like the fame or whatever, that she's getting the help she needs. But next, let's move on to another topic that has caused a lot of talk on the internet, and we're going to give our opinion. So Gillie the King recently shared his opinion that mothers should avoid bailing their sons out of jail, believing that facing the consequences of their actions is necessary for them to learn important life lessons. I do have the video here, but the main topic of the conversation is, if your son, daughter, loved one was in jail, are you bailing them out?
I'm very big on, if you do the crime, if you do that action, then you should deal with the results. So like, as much as I saw some people commenting, I want to preface this first, commenting under the video that Gillie had made, basically saying like he's the wrong person to say this, or like there was mothers in there who's like, I'm always gonna bail my child out. But they said, I'm always gonna bail my child out, and I'm like, that is the reason why we have these people who don't know how to, one, handle their own issues, because you're coddling them. I believe wholeheartedly, and mind you, I'm gonna preface this also by saying Shayla and I don't have kids, but we also understand how it is. Like, we see people who literally get babied every chance they get when bad things happen, how they're always going to get that bailout because their parents are always going to come to their rescue. If you feel like you are grown enough to do this, whatever it is, then why would I even bail you out? You didn't care about that. You ain't think about yourself. Why am I going to stress more about your life than you are stressed about your life? So I believe, yes, I would let my child stay in jail.
I think for me, it depends on the situation, because if there's something crazy and I believe that my son, daughter, family, whatever didn't do it, oh yeah, we're going to go all the way down. I'm gonna get all the lawyers, all the things. We gonna settle this. But like, if I know that they did do something, and you know what I'm saying, if it's something that has to do with injustice, and I know they're trying to play on my child, we're gonna get you out one way or another.
Of course.
But I do believe that, especially in this generation, mind you, I know we're still young, but like the younger generation has a very coddle type of personality. Like things always have to go my way, or my parents are always going to come and save me. And I think parents might think that they're, helping their kid, and like, I don't want them to stress or go through any trauma or whatever. But I think if you want to have your kid in like a saran wrap or like in a safety bubble, you're actually hurting them, because they need to develop problem solving skills, like know that they have to be held accountable for their actions. I'm not always going to be there to save you. So I think it's a double-edged sword. Yes, if I could do it, I would, only if I believe that they didn't do the crime or whatever it is. Because, or the other side is like, no, I think you actually need to be there and understand
And
what
it's
you
like,
did.
I don't want to sit here and make it seem as if like, oh, I'm never going to do anything for my children. No, I know what I want for when I have children. I know I want my children to have a better life than I ever had. And I had a pretty good life. My parents did what they had to do for me. Right. And it's like, I've always said, when I have kids, I will never give them less than what I had, which is why I don't have kids at the age of 26, because I don't have much to give my child right now. Right. So I think, to your point, we do see a lot of children, especially like the younger generation, who are always being coddled and babied, and they don't know how to face repercussions for their actions. And we see that because, like you mentioned, problem solving skills, trash. Like, just the figure it out gene, absolutely like atrocious. So I think a lot of times we see these crimes happen by teenagers and stuff like that. Like, there was just a case in Jersey, like a few weeks ago, of a 14-year-old who killed the cop, and they want to try him as an adult. And it's like, people are like, oh, where's his parents? Where's his parents? Sometimes there's certain kids who don't, no matter how much you try to put into them and instill in them that this is like the right path, the good path, this is the way I want your life to go, they are going to do what they want at the end of the day. And if you feel like you want to do what you want, and that so happens to land you in jail, why would I bail you out every single time? Put stress and gray hairs on my head to stop what you feel like you wanted to do because you thought you were grown. Why would I stop that?
Right. So comment down below, would you bail out your daughter, son? Let us know.
Right.
Next.
And I also just want to say this, like, I'm not just saying this is my son and like I'm gonna do that for my daughter. No, regardless of I got a son or a daughter, you do the crime, and if you really did that crime and it's an egregious crime, baby, I will see you in 15 to 20. No.
So yeah. Next, no one is safe from a Druski skit, honey. No one is safe. Not even the beloved Miss Rachel. If you don't have kids or you're not surrounded by toddlers, you may not be aware of the sensation that is Miss Rachel. She is that girl, okay? She has all the toddlers. Hell, you know what I mean? She that girl, point blank, period. The toddlers love her. And I can vouch for that because my niece, Valerie, love her down. She helps all the kids learn their ABCs and like all the things. Like, I know how there's like research done, like you don't want screen time for your kids or whatever because it's bad, but Miss Rachel is providing the content that is needed for the toddlers, and we stand. So Druski put out this skit in honor of Miss Rachel, and I'm gonna play it for you guys. I have it here because it's like it's so funny. If you guys don't follow Druski, you should, because he is so funny. I'm gonna share my screen for you guys. This is Druski.
Let's learn our ABCs.
Come sing along with us. A is for apple.
Apple. B is for bus. Bus.
C is for cat.
Cat.
Shit.
Good job, Phil. Good job.
Put that default.
Hold the
What you
fuck
gonna put
up.
that default?
Damn, where the weed at?
Kids, man. It's the kids. Fuck them kids, man. I ain't fucking, man. My baby mama keep asking me about this. I'm like, goddamn.
Send the money, broke ass nigga.
I will kill you for real, ho. I promise you to God that. I promise you to God.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. Oh, man. Don't play with it. Don't.
Anyways, it is. He's a mess. And when I saw that, I said, Druski, you did not have to touch the kids' beloved Rachel like that. And to top it all off, Miss Rachel just announced that she had a daughter via surrogacy. So congrats to Miss Rachel, girl.
Congrats, girl. Congrats.
I know this little baby girl is going to she gonna be the next president because she gonna know her ABCs 1, 2, 3s before she won.
I saw people making videos. They're like, I wonder if she gonna talk to her daughter like, are you ready for your ABCs? They're like, I hope she like. Then we gonna say she talked to her child like that,
right? She could just played her videos.
Honestly, though, like, congratulations to her. Druski, you are a clown. Like, but I felt him on that. I say F them kids a lot. And people are like, oh, so what are you going to say when you have your kids? Okay, but I said F them kids, not my kids. Like, just them.
Yeah, I just think it's so, like, out of all the skits that you can do, and if you know Druski, he does, like, everyday relatable. So the fact that there must have been some kids in his life that it has just been added that he discovered Miss Rachel and decided to do that. It was so funny. And I wonder if Miss Rachel has seen it. And if so, Miss Rachel, tell us how you feel about this. They should act, Miss Rachel, she should go link up with Druski and they should actually do, Druski needs to help them kids, not F them kids. Help support.
We need to bring Druski on an episode like Yo Gabba Gabba type style.
Period. The hip hop Harry version, like modern version, Druski versus Miss Rachel. Wrap it out. I would, baby, that would make numbers.
What? Go. Who's next? Yo,
the toddlers are, baby. That's motion right there. Anyways, the next thing, Rebecca, super exciting.
Yes. So y'all already know the debatable GOAT because some people, we don't know. Right. Who do you feel is the GOAT? But LeBron James has a Ken doll. Yes. So LeBron James has made history as the first professional male athlete to be honored with a Ken doll in his likeness. So the company unveiled the LeBron James Ken doll as part of its kenbassador series, which celebrates influential male figures. The doll features James in a stylish outfit, including a Letterman's jacket, Nikes, and nods to his roots and foundation, like the phrase, just a kid from Akron, and we are family t-shirt. Mm-hmm. James expressed his pride in the partnership, emphasizing the importance of positive role models for youth. The doll is priced at $75 and will go on sale on Monday. I believe it's this Monday that's coming up. And yeah, Mattel praised James for his cultural impact and dedication to inspiring the next generation. And I just thought when I saw this, first off, I feel like, how do y'all make a better looking LeBron James doll than y'all do these wax figures and statues? I don't know. I have questions. But the thing that I found funny about this is that I just can picture in my mind all these grown men in line trying to get a LeBron James doll.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be the same men who be yelling at their sons, oh, girls play with dolls, men don't play with dolls, but y'all definitely about to go pick this one up. I know.
Yeah. I love it. I feel like I thought that there were like male version Barbies, but I feel like the fact that now it's like someone that's such an iconic figure, so like little boys, I mean, you should have been allowing your kids to play with dolls anyways. Like, I think that's gender neutral. Who cares if your little boy is playing with a doll? But, some people feel like that's a problem. That's a whole other can of worms. But I love it. I think that they did a very good job on like all the mini features. The price is very high, but I don't know if the kids, if I don't know if I would be buying my little toddler. How much you said it's cost?
Girl, $75. He get a little Sid the Kid kid. It's okay.
I don't know if I'm spending $70 something on a doll. So I think this is literally for the big adults to have there as decoration. Because also, if I pay $70 for a doll, honey, we're not playing with. We are
Well,
not
it's going on
playing
the
with.
shelf. It's going on the
Exactly.
shelf, baby. This gonna be decor.
Exactly. So I stand. I'm excited. And period. Shout out to the doll. It's cute.
And I do feel like if you do end up getting, because LeBron James has fans of all ages.
Mhm.
I do feel like if you do get your kid that type of doll, I think this kind of goes to like the grander concept of it all. I feel like this kind of going to break that like gender stereotype that like male, like little boys can't play with dolls. So I feel like this is gonna kind of change the conversation because it's gonna be like, okay, you didn't want your son playing with a actual Barbie doll, but this is LeBron James. So how you feel now? Type of vibe.
Yeah, which it shouldn't be a difference. A doll
Right.
is dolls, kids are kids, but
Yes. So the next thing we're going to talk about. So if you remember when I mentioned earlier how we need to get my girl Onijah on Pop the Balloon.
Yes.
I don't think we ever talked about it, about how like the series basically went from its YouTube series and Netflix ended up purchasing it. And now it's a part of the Netflix whole
Familia.
Yeah, right. The Netflix family. So on Thursday, which was yesterday, April 10th, Netflix premiered a live version of the viral YouTube speed dating show Pop the Balloon, where singles pop balloons and reject potential matches. The show featured 5 men, sorry. The show featured 5 men trying to match with 8 women, but unfortunately, no love connections were made, despite efforts to adapt to the original YouTube format with the executives are the 2 people who created the actual show and actual host on the YouTube version. And if I butcher your name, I apologize. Her name is Arletty. And her man's name is BM. So Netflix added a reality TV elements to live interviews and a love lounge, which didn't quite land. So the cast included familiar reality TV faces like Johnny Bananas, Chase Damore, and even their presence didn't seem to catch the attention of the viewers like it should. So I'm going to show you guys some of the reactions that we saw from people. Well, I saw yesterday when this was happening from people on X, and people just did not like the show. So some of the comments that we were seeing, so somebody said Netflix gentrified Pop the Balloon. Another post had said, this is giving Black people can't have and they were like, another person said, way too much talking over each other, and then the host is not Steve Harvey. Stop forcing jokes and just host. They said Arletty had a solid organized regimen that this version is lacking. Less reality TV personalities. They are not serious. And they're like, I just want this to work, right? So this was another one that I saw. They're like, everyone responsible for tonight's episode, from the casting couch to the writer's room, needs to binge watch the original content, take some serious notes, and make some much needed adjustments. Sometimes a good thing doesn't need to be tampered with, right? And so basically everybody was kind of having the same consensus when it comes to like the fact that they didn't like it. So obviously I could have just went based off of this. I am not the intended audience for this, because even when it was on YouTube, I didn't watch it. I saw clips and I understood, I had a good idea of it, but I've never watched a full episode. So to make sure that I knew what I was talking about, I did go watch the Netflix Pop the Balloon. And
did you share the same opinion?
I feel like it was awkward at times. It felt like everyone was trying, like I'm talking about like in terms of the females that they had. I feel like the females that they had were trying to portray as characters that you would have saw on the actual YouTube version. Like, I feel like regardless of how you feel or whatever you think, I feel like even the people who went onto the YouTube version of Pop the Balloon, those people were authentically them. They, even if they were there for clout, they were authentically them. The things that came out their mouths, anything that they said, from the rude comments to the crazy comments, like that was who they were. I feel like in the Netflix version, first off, the women felt like actors, one. And two, I felt like they were trying to portray the characters that you would have saw in the YouTube version. It didn't give authentic. It gave like, okay. And it's just like, yeah, I didn't understand. I didn't get it. It was, yeah, even the guys they brought on, I was just like, okay. It's just, it didn't land the way it needed to land, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think several things. I'm going to start by saying that I haven't watched this. I'm like Rebecca, I've seen clips, but I think that's why intellectual property in this space is so important, because people might think that you could just replicate something like an idea, but you just can't. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that the original creators of this are the executive producers that are on the show, but I feel like once you sell stuff to as big of a corporation as Netflix, titles just become titles sometimes. When you are dealing with these big businesses, they have a lot of say into what they want. And yes, you might be the executive producer, but there are still way more higher ups that, still overpower your decisions, what you wanted to say. Or
Right.
like what your decisions, like you may say, oh, well, I want this, or I think we need to come here to cast. But Netflix already hired their people to be a part of, I think, like you mentioned, the girls that were there on the to find love or whatever. That's all depending on casting, right? So if you don't have people that are actually, down in the streets, or like where you can get these like real authentic people that are gonna be true to themselves, and instead you have people that are going to like the bougie places to cast or look for people, you're not gonna get the authenticity that you got in the YouTube version of it. And it's like it's so sad, right? Because again, when I first saw the news that they were moving on to Netflix, although I haven't watched it, anytime I see minorities get an opportunity, I'm like, because I know it's hard, right? So I don't want to say don't watch, don't support, because at the end of the day, if this fails, it's going to be a representation, and it's going to shut down the doors for other, minorities that want to get into the Netflix world, because that's just how the business is. It's very, very, very cutthroat, and not many people get an opportunity. And I think it's also like not the fault of the executive producers, because I'm sure they're saying, well, I want this, or let's come here, let's cast here, let's come here. But there's someone else that's in a higher position that has way more money and saying, like, no, I actually want this. They might say, yeah, I love your idea and we want to buy it. But then as soon as they try to, again, whitewash it, gentrify it, then you're missing the point. Like, the audience that love this on YouTube, let's cater to them, because those are the people that gave the views. Like, now you're bringing it on audience. Yeah, now you're bringing it to a different audience, and now you want to push it to or conform it to make other people happy or a certain demographic. But it's like, this was never for them, and that's okay. There are white shows that are really, really good for that audience, and that's good, that's great. How about we keep it? If it's a show that's primarily watched by Black people, minorities, then that's okay too. Like, we don't have to make everything for everybody. And I know that's a controversial statement, because it's like, oh, diversity, da, da, da. But like, if this show was made popping by a certain demographic, and you knew this, because when you buying a show, you're seeing every single data point. Now you bought it and you're trying to make it something that it was never. Like, you can't fake the funk. You just can't.
And my whole thing is also, I'm like, Netflix, you kind of dropped, not even kind of, Netflix dropped the ball completely, because you literally could have just kept it the way it was and just streamed it on YouTube and had it live that way if you really wanted that. It's like, they changed the set. It's not even just the white, like the regular white set that you see on YouTube. They have it as if this is like a game show type of thing. You got these 8 girls who technically, even when you hear them talk, it's like, what do you actually want? Because the one girl was like, oh, like, oh, I just didn't see the lineup look crazy. Da 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 da. I'm just like, what are y'all talking about? Sometimes the format is the format, and I feel like if you are dense in the brain and you don't get what we're trying to get at, it's the same way about how these hair companies who are like you cater to a specific demographic. You sell it, it gets gentrified and conformed conformed to fit everybody, but it's like
Right.
that's not why you were on and popping. You were liked because of what you catered to. The audience that you catered to gravitated to that content because that is what they like. That's what they related to. That's what they like to see. And now you're trying to gentrify it to be something that is not to fit everybody, and it's not landing where you need it to land.
Yeah, and it's also like you put people in positions, right? Like, oh yeah, they're the executive producer. So from the outside looking in, people are gonna be like, oh, how come you didn't keep it the same or da da da? But
Right.
sometimes that's just a facade. You get into these companies and you're like, I'm gonna change the world, and then you quickly realize that that power is very much fake, and the people that you're not seeing are the ones that actually have a say. So I say still support it, because if you don't, less people are gonna have opportunities.
But also at the same time, if they see that viewership goes down and they
Yeah.
don't support it, they're gonna be forced to change it.
No, they're gonna cancel the show,
And
and
if they
that's just
cancel, it's gonna go back to YouTube.
well, it's still
where it
on
is.
YouTube. They're keeping their
Yes.
YouTube version, and the Netflix is
Right,
separate.
but it's just gonna stick to the YouTube. And
Yeah,
everybody who loved it there is gonna keep rocking with it. Them YouTube checks still hit too. Not
right.
as
But
good
I'm
as
sure the
Netflix.
Netflix checks
Right,
are thicker.
right. Not as good as the Netflix one, but it's still
Right.
gonna hit. You gonna get your coin
I
regardless.
know. Well, let's get into our sports corner.
Tell him this, did he miss? Junior Watanabe on my
Hey, oh.
So I am so happy to report that the UConn Huskies women's basketball team won their 12th NCAA championship. They defeat South Carolina, and congrats to my
I
girl.
love that. That's the part that made it even better for me. Listen, if you are a South Carolina fan and you gonna have beef with me, guess what? It is what it is. Y'all lost. I had better luck next year.
They have re-upped. They have worked that transfer portal. They got a very amazing star player from Florida. I'm blanking on her name. It's something with a T. We love you,
You
girl.
talking about South
Tonight,
Carolina?
yeah,
Still
they
don't
just Tanaya Latson. That's her. We love you. She is very, very good. So I think adding her to their team is definitely gonna shake things up. She's a shooter, a defender. She carried the team
right.
at Florida State. She carried Florida State, and now she's going to join South Carolina. So they're definitely got what they needed, which was shooting. The shooting was definitely lacking during the finals, which was made me happy because I'm like, I was rooting for UConn. I'm happy that Paige Beckers got her storybook ending. She had been, struggling with a lot of injuries, and the storylines in sports. People always push narratives onto you like, well, will you be, will your college career be good if you don't get a national championship? And all of these pressures that people from the outside were pouring onto her. So I'm glad that she is leaving with a championship. They had been in a drought for, I believe, 9 years. So they're back on top. And the WNBA draft is actually happening on Monday, I believe. And she is expected it's quick turnover. Work never stops. She is expected to be the number 1 draft pick. And people are saying she's going to go to the Dallas Wings. So, baby, the WNBA is quick. They don't give these girls a rest.
No, facts. Low key, like, let her. I feel like she just been, how to be like, no sleep, another club, no sleep, another club. I just feel like they've been on back to back to back to back. Like, dag, let the girl breathe for just a little bit, not too long, maybe like 3 weeks. Like, she just won.
That's a prime example of like the difference between the WNBA and the NBA. The NBA men are like on a silver silver platter. They get all the good stuff. They get paid a whole lot. They just get everything. But I am very happy and excited that my WNBA girlies are slowly but surely getting the attention that they deserve. And I'm excited to see Paige Beckers in her WNBA career. Shout out to Aubrey Griffin, Caitlin Chen. They're also graduating. And yeah, the WNBA season.
Zaza, Azuzu.
Oh, AZ Fudge, she is
I
coming
like
back.
I like
I'm a big curly hair girl, so she was on GMA. And her curly hair was popping. I was like, how can I do this hairstyle? Because they ate down whoever did that. And now it's all about the Liberty.
Right. But no, honestly, I'm glad they won. Y'all, I was rooting for Arkansas for the men's college tournament, and they ended up losing, and they lost to, I forget what team it was. Honestly, I'm blanking right now, but I did not want Florida to win. Florida to win at all. I didn't want them to win an ounce. I was rooting for Houston. And in the beginning, they was sitting there, they was going at it. It was going tit for tat, but Houston was doing good.
It was all that last play. It all came down to the last play.
Oh, baby. When I tell you I could have punched a hole through my monitor, like I said, what?
Oh, that has to be awful. Like, imagine being the player. Like, baby.
I can't even
next year.
My chest hurts. My chest hurts. But the next thing I want to talk about, and the last thing for our sports corner that we're going to talk about, is our cousin Ja Morant, right? So we talked about him last week about how they didn't like his celebration, what he was doing, like it looked like guns, but some people are saying it's similar to that of Mikal Bridges with the 3, whatever. So now he has a new celebration, and I'm just going to show it to y'all real quick because I'm like, Ja, you do a lot wrong in my eyes, but I love you down no matter what.
He's out on the court, he's healthy, and he's playing at this level. Look, he's shooting, since he's come back off the injury, he's even shooting a 3 over 40%.
So a lot of people are like, did this man just throw a grenade? Like everybody's like, now that's his celebration. Like he throwing grenades and stuff.
No.
So then Ja Morant ended up giving a response on like what people think about his new celebration dance, basically. And he said, it's not what you think it is. I'm going to take my words. I'm going to throw them out there, and then I'm going to block out the noise. Sir, it's giving like thug. It's giving the definition of thug. Truly humbled under God. That's what it's giving.
But one thing about him is like him and Anthony Edwards, they're gonna find a way to still be their true self. Is like, how many times these people have gotten in trouble and they just they pivot. They figure out another way to still do what they want to do. And it's like, okay, well, if the league thinks that I can't do this, then he find these celebrations quick. It's like out of a hat. Oh, I can't do this. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. Oh, I can't do this one. I'm gonna do this one. It's just like,
oh, honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, if I was Ja Morant's, like, if me and Ja Morant was really locked in, I would start writing ideas down. I'm like, baby, get on the ground and act like you a sniper. Like, I need you.
Well, that's a bad friend because we want him to stay in the league.
Like, y'all gonna keep playing in my face. I got something for y'all. Like,
well, I'm glad that whoever is helping with these new ideas are leaning away from the gun stuff and more to different things.
Yes, but
we stand.
Yes, we stand. And Ja, listen, keep the ideas going. I'm enjoying this
celebration tour.
Right. So let's get into our wind down really quickly, guys. So I know we haven't done this in a while, but we did it last 2 weeks in a row. Right. Okay, look at us. We're going back into all our little segments. So I know we haven't done this in a while, but we did do it last week. But if you are new here, our wind down portion is basically where we take things down, be a little chill, and we usually have a question that we just want to ask each other. So a quick question that I have for you, Shayla, it's multiple choices. It's, what's harder for you to say? I'm sorry, I need help, or I love you?
I need help for sure. Because I'm very like, I got it. So like when I ask for help, I gotta be knee deep. Because usually I always just figure it out. And even if I actually do need help, I'm like, oh no, I'm good, and I just do it.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
think for me, it's like I feel like yes, I need help is hard for me to say to others. I feel like if I really do need help, like I don't mind saying, Shayla, like, can you help me with this? Right. But it's like Shayla said, I'm very much like just like her. Like I will just do it myself. I will suffer in silence and just do it myself. But if I really do feel like I'm drowning, I know who to go to. The people who have shown me that if I do ask for help, they will help me. I don't do that for everybody though. So like there's just it's not something I can extend to others. I think one thing that is hard for me to say is I love you. And it's like I mainly try to keep that to like special occasions. But it's like I feel like the people that are really close to me in my life don't really get to hear that. And I don't know why, but saying I love you is hard for me. Like when people are like, oh, Rebecca, I love you. I'm like, oh, I love you too. Like saying the I portion, or like I'll do a variation of my own affection, which is like my love. Or like I'll be like, oh, I really appreciate you. Like I'll say every other version but that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I feel like for me, like if I love you, like I don't think it's a hard thing for me to say. Like if I wanted to, like I would say I love you. Is it something I say often? No. But that's just I feel like because it's just my personality type and how I was raised. Like my mom was not telling me I love you every second of the day. And so that's not like I know she loves me and we show love different ways, like whether it's action, whatever. And I think because of that, that's how I am. I'm not just saying I love you every 2-3,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like I'll keep it to special occasions, but it's like I could type it. Like I'll type it and be like, I love you. But like for me to say it like verbally, it's like even sometimes with my own, like I love my grandma down. Like if y'all know this, I am a grandma's girl. Like that is me and her locked in, right? Even when she says I love you, I'm like, oh, I love you too, grandma. Like it's like I don't know. It's just
the eye that got you in a
the
chokehold.
eye just got me in a chokehold because I don't know what it is. If y'all have an idea of why that's a struggle, definitely let us know below. But that's really all from us today.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you. We appreciate you. And I guess this is gonna be like our new way to end the things. We tell you guys what emoji to comment. This is how we know if you're a real one. Denise, a real one. And also, I forgot what the guy that calls me bae.
Oh,
don't
wait,
know his
I got
name,
him
but
down because
John, Jose.
listen, I just want him to know I am rooting for y'all. In my head, I keep telling Shayla this is about to be his name is
Regardless.
Javon.
Okay, remember, I'm gonna call you Jay. Jay, thank you for your support. We appreciate it. Today's emoji, let's do the dog emoji in honor of the UConn Huskies winning the national
Okay.
championship.
Okay. And in honor of it still not being spring outside, let's do the sun emoji.
Right. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Emphasis on subscribe. We've been really down bad in the subscription. So please subscribe. We're fun.
And head over to all our platforms in terms of threads and Facebook as well. Every day we have been posting different questions. Interact with us and let us know what you think. And all the different questions correlate to the different snippets that we have from the show, but definitely let us know and let us know what your thoughts are.
Yep. So everything on all social platforms, Too Much SB. And yeah, we'll see you guys next Friday. Bye.